There is a document inside the United States Department of Agriculture that decides whether the food in your hand is legally allowed to be called a chicken nugget. Most Americans have never read it. It runs a few short paragraphs. It draws a hard line between real chicken and something assembled to resemble it. And it explains why two products that look identical coming out of a fryer basket can carry two completely different legal names. But there is a detail the industry would rather you did not sit with. That rule governs the label on the box, and at a drive-thru window, you never see the box. The reference is called the Food Standards and Labeling Policy Book. It is the guidance USDA inspectors work from when approving what a meat or poultry package is permitted to say. On the subject of nuggets, it lists three categories. Category 1. A product made from a solid piece of poultry may simply be called a chicken nugget. Nothing further required. Category 2. If the meat has been chopped and then reassembled, the label must admit it. The phrase chopped and formed has to appear directly beside the product name. Category 3 is where the language changes. If chicken has been chopped and then combined with binders, extenders, or added water, the word nugget is demoted to what the agency calls a fanciful name. The legal designation becomes breaded nugget-shaped chicken patties. Same fryer, same golden color. Three separate legal identities. There is one more line in that rule most people skip past. Breaded products in all three categories are capped at 30% breading by weight. A government agency looked at this product and concluded a ceiling was necessary. Now the part that matters to you. That labeling rule governs packages. The frozen bag in the grocery freezer aisle. The 20-pound institutional case shipped to a school cafeteria. When a chain hands you a paper carton across a counter, no package changes hands, so no legal product name ever reaches your eyes. We know precisely what that looks like, because a federal recall notice once printed both names in the same paragraph. In 2016, Tyson Foods recalled a fully cooked panko chicken nugget. The 5-pound retail bag was labeled Fully Cooked Panko Chicken Nuggets. The 20-pound case bound for institutional kitchens carried the full legal designation, Panko Chicken Nuggets, nugget-shaped chicken breast, patty fritters with rib meat. Identical product, identical recall. Two names depending on who was reading. Once you know that phrase exists, you start noticing fragments of it printed on menus across the country. Before we go further, take a second and subscribe. What follows is a ranked breakdown of 8 national chains. Read line by line from their own published ingredient statements, and then 3 that survive the same scrutiny. The final 3 will change how you order. Number 8. Sonic Drive-In. Sonic sells jumbo popcorn chicken in a paper sleeve, small golden pieces with a heavy pebbled crust that stays crisp longer than the chicken inside stays hot. The chain's own allergen guide lists the item as containing soy. Chickens do not produce soy. When soy appears in a fried chicken product, it arrived through the ingredient statement, generally as a protein isolate or concentrate that holds water and improves yield. A large order runs 750 calories before a single dipping sauce. Notice what the name avoids. Sonic does not call this a nugget, a tender, or a strip. Popcorn chicken is a shape description, and shape descriptions carry no obligation to tell you what the piece was cut from. That is the mild end of this list. Number 7. McDonald's. The Chicken McNugget is the most recognized version of this food on Earth, and McDonald's has spent decades defending the phrase all-white meat. That phrase is accurate. It is also incomplete. McDonald's own consumer information in the United Kingdom states the figure plainly. Once the batter, the seasoning, and the cooking oil are counted, chicken meat accounts for roughly 45% of the finished McNugget. The remaining 55% is everything else. Read the American panel and you find enriched bleached wheat flour, yellow corn flour, vegetable starch drawn from corn, wheat, rice, and pea, and a leavening blend that includes sodium aluminum phosphate. Hydrogenated soybean oil sits in the same list. Hold a McNugget up, 4 shapes repeated endlessly, each one identical to the last. Whole muscle does not behave that way. Number 6. Burger King. The first ingredient is chicken breast with rib meat. The third is isolated oat product. Isolated oat product is oat hull fiber. It contributes no flavor. Its function is bulk and water retention, and it appears ahead of the modified food starch and the sodium phosphates that follow it. The frying oil declaration ends with dimethyl polysiloxane, a silicone-based anti-foaming agent. A 20-piece order carries roughly 1,790 milligrams of sodium. That is close to 78% of an entire day's recommended limit. From a shareable side. Number 5. Whataburger. Whataburger sells Chicken strips. The ingredient statement does not call them strips. It calls them Southern-style chicken breast fritter strips. Fritter is not marketing language, it is regulatory language, and it signals a formed product rather than a cut of muscle. Beneath it sits a solution of up to 12% water, isolated soy protein, salt, and sodium phosphates, injected before breading. Bite one and the interior gives more than it tears. That uniform softness is the water and the soy doing their job. Number 4. Dairy Queen. The menu describes crispy 100% white meat tenderloin chicken. The ingredient panel on the same website describes uncooked chicken tenderloin fritters containing up to 18% of a solution of water, hydrolyzed soy protein, salt, and sodium phosphates. Both statements are true simultaneously. That is the mechanism. Hydrolyzed soy protein is a meat extender. Its purpose is to occupy volume that chicken would otherwise occupy. Nearly 1/5 of what you are paying for by weight was added at the plant. Number 3. KFC. Kentucky Fried Chicken launched its nuggets nationally with a single promise printed across every ad: 100% white meat chicken. The published ingredient information tells the rest. The chicken carries up to 25% of a water-based solution containing soy protein concentrate, modified food starch, rice starch, and sodium phosphates. 1/4 of the weight, before breading, before oil. If you have ever noticed the coating separating cleanly from the meat as it cools, leaving a faint gap and a slick surface underneath, you have watched injected solution release under heat. Number 2. Popeyes. Popeyes publishes a full United States ingredient document, and it is unusually specific. The classic tenders contain up to 30% of a solution of water, modified food starch, sodium phosphate, carrageenan, and chicken broth. The bite-sized boneless wings are listed as chicken breast bites with rib meat, containing up to 28% solution. 30% is the highest declared figure on this list. Then there is the oil. The document defines it in 4 words: beef fat, BHT, citric acid, dimethyl polysiloxane. An 8-piece order of Popeyes nuggets has carried around 11 grams of saturated fat and 1.5 grams of trans fat, which is roughly 55% of a day's saturated fat from a snack portion. Number 1. Jack in the Box. Read the chicken component in order: boneless chicken breast with rib meat, water, soy protein concentrate, modified cornstarch, salt, sodium phosphates. Soy protein concentrate is the 3rd ingredient, not a trace additive at the end of the list. 3rd, ahead of the starch and ahead of the salt, which places it among the largest components of the product by weight. A 20-piece order delivers approximately 2,420 milligrams of sodium. That exceeds 100% of the daily value on a single order, and it does so before fries, before sauce, before a drink. Now step back, because there is a thread running through all 8. Sodium phosphates appear in nearly every one of them. Phosphate additives are not the same as the phosphorus naturally present in meat. Research published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition and elsewhere shows that naturally occurring organic phosphorus is absorbed at roughly 40 to 60%, while inorganic phosphate additives absorb at 80 to nearly 100%. They are also invisible. Current United States labels are not required to declare how much phosphate a product contains. Investigators studying chronic kidney disease have flagged this repeatedly, because for men over 50, declining kidney function is common and often silent for years. There is one more piece of evidence worth knowing. In 2013, physicians at the University of Mississippi Medical Center published a study in the American Journal of Medicine. They bought nuggets from 2 unnamed national chains, preserved them, sliced them, stained them, and examined them under a microscope. The first nugget was approximately 50% skeletal muscle. The second was approximately 40%. The remainder included fat, epithelium, connective tissue, blood vessels, nerve, and bone. 2 nuggets, 2 chains. The authors said so themselves and noted that formulations have since changed at some companies. But the finding was published, peer-reviewed, and never retracted, and federal regulation does allow it. Under the poultry inspection rules, a boneless poultry product may legally contain up to 1% bone solids by weight. So what actually holds up? Number 3 on the honest list. Culver's Original Chicken Tenders. The ingredient guide begins with the words chicken tender, not chicken breast with rib meat, and not a fritter. A whole tender, followed by water, modified tapioca starch, salt, and sodium tripolyphosphate. There is no soy protein, no isolated oat product, and no declared solution percentage anywhere in the statement. The sodium is still substantial, so order accordingly. But the meat is meat, and it pulls apart in strands rather than crumbling. Number 2. Raising Cane's. Cane's built an entire company around a single cut. The chicken tenderloin is a specific muscle running along the inside of the breast, and there are exactly 2 per bird. The chain uses fresh tenderloins that are never frozen, marinated, hand-battered, and fried to order. You can verify it without reading anything. Pull one apart, and the muscle fiber runs in visible strands. Ground and formed product does not do that. It crumbles. Number 1. Chick-fil-A. The published ingredient statement for Chick-fil-A nuggets opens with boneless, skinless chicken breast meat nuggets. There is no rib meat clause, no solution percentage, no soy protein isolate, no oat fiber, no modified food starch in the chicken itself. And now the detail that proves this is worth checking rather than assuming. On the same website, the grilled nuggets are listed as containing up to 17% solution of water and seasoning. The fried nugget at Chick-fil-A is closer to whole chicken than the grilled one. Almost nobody would guess that. It is printed publicly, and it has been sitting there the entire time. None of this is hidden. Every figure in this video came from a company's own published ingredient document, a USDA labeling rule, a federal recall notice, or a peer-reviewed journal. It is simply arranged so that you will never encounter it while hungry, in a car, looking at a lit menu board. The next time you order, ask for the ingredient information. Every one of these chains publishes it. Look for 3 things: a solution percentage, a protein that is not chicken, and the word fritter, or patty, or formed. If the first ingredient is a cut of chicken and the list is short, you are holding what you thought you ordered. If it is not, you are holding something the government has a very different name for.